The Mutual Broadcasting System presents I Love a Mystery. Transcribed.
Then, Mr. Packard, we'll go into the library.
Mrs. Martin, will you tell me why you sent Doc and Reggie back up to our quarters?
I'm taking you into the library to meet my granddaughters.
And what's that got to do with Doc and Reggie?
My dear man, you don't know my granddaughters.
What's that?
No. When there are too many eligible men about, it's difficult to get them to concentrate on anything else.
Man crazy, huh?
Keep a civil tongue in your head.
You suggested it.
I can say what I please about my granddaughters. You can't.
I see.
Be sure you do. The Martin girls can do no wrong.
But you were telling me a few moments ago you were having granddaughter trouble.
I am.
Well, isn't it going to be a little difficult for us to discuss the trouble if I've got to assume the attitude they're above reproach?
I'll do the criticizing. Your job is to correct the trouble in this house without comment.
Aren't you being a little high-handed, Mrs. Martin?
You're questioning me?
I certainly am. First, you practically kidnapped me and my two partners.
You didn't have to come if you didn't choose.
How did you know we were arriving by plane at Burbank this evening?
Read it in the paper.
But did you stop to consider that we might have had plans of our own?
They weren't important.
You mean they weren't important to you? I'm afraid you're a woman who's used to having her own way.
I'm afraid I am.
Well, you go right ahead and have it. Well, I think Doc and Reggie and I'll be on our way.
Fiddlesticks.
What's that?
You're staying right here.
Against our will?
Nonsense. You're staying here because you're needed.
You're asking us to stay?
I'm ordering you to stay.
Now, then I'll say goodbye.
Don't be a fool, Jack Packard.
We don't take orders.
You walk out of the house because I order you to stay instead of ask you to stay.
That's right.
You'll be well paid for obeying my orders.
Keep your money. As a matter of fact, our one purpose in coming to Hollywood was to spend our reward money from the last job. It would melt faster down here than any place we could think of.
You don't recognize authority, and you have no use for money.
That's right.
You're difficult young men to handle.
Not at all. We enjoy doing favors.
The House of Martin does not accept favors.
Now, that's up to you.
For generations, we've been able to pay for anything we want.
In my opinion, then, the Martins have wanted few of the good things in this world.
Bah!
Well, there we are. We can't agree, so we'll go.
No.
Yes.
No, wait a minute.
Well?
I don't like it. I'm not used to asking people to do things. But I will. I'm asking you to stay and help me, Mr. Packard.
Please?
What's that?
You didn't say please.
How dare you?
Don't if you don't want to.
Young whippersnapper. Mr. Packard, will you please stay and help me?
Gladly. In fact, we'd already made up our minds to stay. I think you've got an interesting problem here.
What do you know about the problem here?
Nothing. But it's apparent there's something. It's in the atmosphere. Something, might I say, something creeping through this house.
Creeping? Creeping?
A creeping, unhealthy menace.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. You don't suppose it would be the stench of a decaying family tree that's permeating the environment, do you?
Oh, such utter nonsense. We spent enough time. Come along in the library and meet my granddaughters.
Very well.
Decayed family tree, indeed.
Only a suggestion.
Uncalled for. Come on in.
Yes?
Now then, Fay, where is Hope?
Oh, Grandmother, whoever keeps track of our beautiful Hope?
Well, someone should.
I hate to be the one assigned to the job.
I told her to be in the library at 8.
Grandma, I know where she is. Cherry, shut up.
Fay, please, you're a Martin, and that Martin women are always ladies.
Oh, horse feathers.
The Martin women are always ladies. Now then, Cherry, where is Hope?
She sneaked out with the chauffeur again.
You little rat. Fay.
Well, she is.
I am not. Hope should leave the chauffeur alone, and you know it.
Well, that man will get his walking papers tonight.
Let's see. That'll make the 4th chauffeur to get his bounce in 3 months.
We'll not discuss the subject any further. Mr. Packard.
Yes?
This is my oldest granddaughter, Faith Martin.
Sure. We met before.
Yes, I think I've had the pleasure.
What's that?
Miss Martin was in the car that met us at the airport tonight.
You were? Why?
I just wanted to get first look at your private detectives.
I don't particularly like that term, private detectives.
Well, isn't that what you are? 3 flatties in plain clothes to keep an eye on the Martin girls.
That will be enough of that, Faith Martin.
And, look, Packard, Grandma's the only one who can get away with Faith. Make it Fay or don't talk to me.
I remember.
All right, you've had the center of the floor long enough. You know Charity Martin already.
Not Charity, Grandma, please. Cherry.
Miss Cherry Martin. Any bad results from your fall downstairs?
Don't tell me Cherry fell downstairs again.
I didn't fall. I didn't. I was pushed from behind.
And when you looked around, there wasn't anyone there.
How can you look around when you're falling?
Faye, let your sister alone.
If she keeps falling down the stairs much more, we can make a tumbler out of her and put her in the circus.
Faye.
Okay, why not?
Miss Martin.
You'd better call me Fay. There are too many Miss Martins around this joint.
Very well, Faye, then. You don't seem to take your sister's convictions that someone is trying to kill her very seriously.
Oh, Cherry's just got a persecution complex.
I have not.
Sure you have. You're always talking about them being after you. They want to kill you. They. What's that but a persecution setup?
Perhaps. But how do you account for the marks of physical violence? That's not in the mind.
You've got me, pal, but if there's anybody in this house chasing Cherry with malice aforethought, then I'm a flagpole sitter.
Faye, I find the vulgarity of your language exceedingly distasteful.
Poor Grandma. She's tried so hard to make ladies of us all. And what did she get?
No, what did she get?
You really like to know?
Faye, watch your tongue.
I assure you I would. I'd like to know very much.
Well, I'll start with me. I'm the oldest.
Yeah?
I'm the vulgarian of the family.
Faith Martin, you mind what you say?
Oh, go lay down, Grandma.
I begin to understand, Mr. Packard. You see why I need help so badly?
Go on, Faye. You're the Bulgarian.
Correct. Hope is the family wench. Witness her evening escapade with the chauffeur.
Faye, the family name.
What family name? And Cherry, the little whispering mouse here, she's just a plain dope, afraid of her own shadow.
I see. That's the way you analyze the situation.
That's us. Here we are. Look us over.
What about Brother Job?
We'll not discuss Job. He's a fine young man. The only one in the family who appreciates the name of Martin.
That's Grandma's version. Want to hear mine?
Please.
Brother Job is a good-natured drunk
Faye.
who's been taken by every gyp game Hollywood can think up and is slowly breaking his grandmother's heart.
If I may offer an opinion, I don't think you girls are doing your grandmother's heart any good either.
Oh, well, she doesn't love us. As long as we don't get the name of Martin in the headlines, she doesn't mind us, but she loves Job something awful.
We all do. We all love Job. And he's in such danger. He and Hope are in terrible danger.
Yes, you said that before tonight when I was bandaging up your arm.
Bandaging her arm? Hello. You have got a bandage on, haven't you? What happened?
Somebody slashed me as I was walking down the hall.
What?
It's true. It's true.
You mean somebody slashed you with a knife right here in this house?
Honest, Faye. Honest, they did.
And, Mr. Packard, do you suppose there really is somebody after her?
There's evidence to indicate it.
Look, Mouse, maybe I've been doing you an injustice.
It's true enough.
Now, wait a minute. Let's take that up later. We've got away from our subject.
Oh, yes, which was Job, the family drunk.
You say he's in danger, Cherry. What sort of danger?
I don't believe there's any truth in it. Who'd want to harm Job? Besides, the child's been forewarning doom for members of the family for years.
But he is in danger. He and Hope.
What sort of danger?
Danger out there. Outside the house. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer all the time. Creeping. Creeping.
Cherry, stop saying that.
I think that's the expression I used before we came in here, wasn't it, Mrs. Martin?
Yes, and I forbid its use again.
Well, at least Cherry and I seem to have the same intuitive sense of impending danger.
How nice for Cherry.
What do you mean?
But you and she have something in common. I wonder if you couldn't find something in common with me, too.
Such as?
Well, I like my initials embroidered on my pajamas.
I don't wear pajamas.
Oh, how exciting. Then you'd have to have your initials tattooed on your chest, wouldn't you?
Mr. Packard.
Yes?
I forbid you to indulge in conversation of this nature with my
It
granddaughters.
seems to be the only language Faye understands.
I forbid it.
You know, Mrs. Martin, you seem to dominate everyone and everything except your grandchildren. Why is that?
I can tell you why. She did dominate us when we were little and couldn't help ourselves. She made such hateful little prigs out of us, it was shameful.
You were nice children.
You bet. Nasty nice. And then one day, Job found out about firewater, and now he's devoting his life to it. And one day I found out that there are some wonderfully disgusting words in the English language for self-expression. I'm devoting my life to them. And Hope discovered chauffeurs, and she's devoting her life in that direction.
And what about Cherry here?
Oh, poor little mouse. She hasn't discovered much of anything yet, so she's devoting her life to being afraid.
I'm not afraid. If they weren't always after me, I wouldn't ever be afraid.
They have been after her for a long time. But now if they've come to life and are starting to cut her up, it may be getting serious.
Yes, I'm beginning to wonder. By the way, are any of you girls married?
Married, I should say not.
Is Job?
Certainly, Job's not married.
Then who's the parents of the baby we heard crying earlier?
Baby crying? You heard a baby crying?
Certainly. Just before Cherry here fell downstairs.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
It's impossible.
What are you talking about?
There's not a baby in the house. There hasn't been for years.
But I've heard it. I've heard it.
So she says.
Yes. And every time it cries, something horrible happens.
Further transcribed adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie will come to you tomorrow at this same hour. I Love a Mystery, written and directed by Carlton E. Morse, comes to you Monday through Friday, featuring Russell Thorson as Jack, Jim Bowles as Doc Long, and Tony Randall as Reggie York. Frank McCarthy speaking.